Welcome back to We Move Through Stormy Weather, a podcast by Storm Sound and Osiris Media. I'm Ryan Storm, and I'm very happy to be here today for our second ever in-person episode, and it is with the exact same person as the first ever in-person episode, Mr. Joel Cummins of Umphrey's McGee. Hi, Joel.
How's it going, Ryan? This was, much more groundbreaking the first time, so now it just kind of feels like old hat, you know? Here we are. This is just what we do. Ryan and I meet up at festivals, hang out, and now we get to catch up with what I've been up to.
Perfect. Well, it's been a whole month since the last time we spoke. We went into some of your favorite jams so far of Umphrey's in 2023. We talked about your history at Summer Camp Festival. So if anyone has not checked out that episode, that is episode 35 of We Move Through Stormy Weather. Go give that a listen. It's a great conversation. But Joel, you've been around the last month or so. What's been going on in your world?
I have. Well, we had our big Red Rock shows in Colorado with Mo, and got to bring out the big cowbell again, which was very exciting for anyone who saw it at summer camp. But had some just really fun shows and I think well-played shows for us. As with any band, Red Rocks is kind of our biggest thing, and it can be tough to feel like you really nail it. You don't want to overthink it. You don't want to underprepare. And this year, it felt like things were connecting, and there was good osmosis in the musical air. So that was pretty fun. After the completion of our second Red Rock show, we decided a good way to celebrate would be to go to the airport and fly to Nashville to go to Bonnaroo.
A bold move.
Very, very bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off. And so it did pay off. We made it. We played our set there, and then Ryan and I and a couple of our crew guys got to hang out. Ryan Stasek, I should say, the bass player from Umphrey's. Mm-hmm. And we went and saw what, may be the most impressive live performance I've ever seen at a festival. Jacob Collier.
Oh, yeah.
Playing with a 5-piece band and, setting up loops on his own on 5 different instruments in 45 seconds.
Yeah.
The super tight jazz vocal harmony stuff they were doing was incredible, and then getting to be a part of the Jacob Collier audience choir at Bonnaroo was really, really special. And if you guys don't know what that is, go check out his Instagram account and look for when the crowd is singing. He basically gives the crowd 4 different pitches assigned on where you're standing in the audience, and then makes average people who are out here enjoying music into a choir, and the results are always impressive.
Yeah, that Jacob Collier is like a force. Like it's incredible, seeing the stuff that he puts out, and watching him, the clips from his shows. Like I haven't been able to see him live yet. I want to for sure, but yeah, as you said, like going 5 different instruments in such a short amount of time.
You got to go check out his live show. It really was special. It's something I'm super stoked to bring my kids to eventually too. They're kind of growing up as multi-instrumentalists, and I love that. And to be able to see someone who's doing it on that level, just absurd. So that was, I was like laughing and crying. It was that good.
Yeah.
We went and checked out a couple Pixies tunes, and then we actually came back to Jacob Collier at the end and watched the end of his set, and then we went and watched most of the Foo Fighters show that night, which was also really cool. Rami Jaffe, the keyboardist for the Foo Fighters, is a buddy of mine. I recorded a lot of the keyboard parts for Similar Skin, It's Not Us, It's You. I think those albums in particular, I did a lot of those at his studio in LA. And so we kind of become buddies over the years, and had a really, really special feature during the first half of a stripped down Times Like These, with just, it was like a B3 and Dave singing.
Nice.
And yeah, it was an incredibly magical moment, and the whole show was really well done. There were some funny improvised moments, but yeah, it was a great day at Bonnaroo, and we pushed through and were rewarded.
Yeah, and then you slept for 4 days.
No, I didn't sleep for 4 days. I went home and picked up my children the next day, and
there you go.
Tried to aggressively get them to go to bed so I could go to bed.
It's a good way of doing it. Yeah, exactly. And then you went to a different festival, not to perform.
I did this year. I've played at Electric Forest a bunch of times, both with Umphrey's and doing solo or duo stuff. I've done a thing with Kyle Hollingsworth there. Jason Hem played with me last year. I've done a couple Everyone orchestras. I had a set with Marcus Rizak and Hash from Thievery, and I think Jeff Franca was in that band too, maybe. That was just like an improvised thing. We did that a few years ago. Yeah, so I've gotten to play a lot of Electric Forest, and this year, for the first time, I had no scheduled programming, and I had both my kids with me again. So, getting to take them in the, we do mostly like daytime Forest stuff. Right,
of course.
But they just absolutely love it, and it was really cool to share that sort of creativity and art, wound into the music there. So, so we got to go see Thumpasaurus, which was pretty amazing.
I saw them here yesterday. Yeah, they were really cool.
Yeah.
They had one of their crew guys making pancakes on stage during the set. Apparently, I saw something online about it. Apparently, he usually runs like a video screen behind them or whatever, but there was no screen, and it was during the day, and so he decided to make pancakes during the set instead.
Their video content at their set at Electric Forest was also really pretty awesome. But I dug those guys. I got to check out probably about an hour of Goose, which was enjoyable.
Catch the Modavan?
Was that later?
The really big
early?
jam. The early in the set.
Oh yeah, I was there for that. Yeah, I apologize, Goose fans. I don't know the names of the songs. They did a pretty funny cover of "Can't Get You Out of My Head."
Yes.
Is it Debbie Gibson? Kylie Minogue.
Yes.
There you go. That was enjoyable. But yeah, it was a great set. I watched some from the front and then went out kind of by front of house and took the rest of it in from there. Had some good hangs. Got to see Ben and Peter for a little bit. Saw Rick briefly, but those guys rolled up the night before. So Mark Brownstein had a DJ set. So, my daughter Will Quinn and I rolled up for that, and she made a sign that she proudly held up that said, "Brownie, take me to Disneyland."
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, there were some good jokes happening. Brownie has also said that he's replaced me as his best friend with hers now as well. So,
that seems reasonable. Once you meet Willa, it's hard not to.
It's moved on to the younger generation. More exciting. He's trying to build that DJ audience with the younger crowd.
Exactly. He knows, 15 years from now, who's going to be coming to his DJ sets, right?
Yeah, so it's been fun checking out music. And then Monday, Brendan and I did a benefit concert for my parents' educational scholarships. And that was on the beach in Muskegon, very close to Electric Forest.
It looked really nice. Mutual friend of ours, Jesse. But he said that was a great
Mix Man.
Great show. Yes,
I hung out with him. We kind of cruised around on Friday for a little while. Brittany and Jesse and I. He's a great dude.
Yeah.
He's also paying me to say that, but that's okay. So I got to play some music then on Monday, and back at that. And then just last night, we had the first Umphrey show in Buffalo, New York, I think in about 5 years.
Yeah.
You were supposed to have your Umphrey's debut there, and it got snowed out.
Yeah, in January 2022, when, amid all of the cancellations at the time about Omicron, this one got canceled because of snow.
Yeah, we couldn't load in. There was a huge pile of ice that they couldn't remove right in front of the load-in doors, so this show was kind of a makeup for that, believe it or not. 18 months later, we were finally able to squeeze it in, and man, I've forgotten how much I love the Town Ballroom.
It's an amazing venue. Yeah, I've seen a ton of shows there recently, as I've started traveling more, and it's so close to Toronto, so I was so sad to miss that yesterday. Yeah.
So we did the first ever, Scott Marks did confirm for me, that's Biz Archive out there on the internets if you're looking for him. That was the first ever 20-plus minute Believe the Lie last night. I think it was a little over 24. And I got to give credit where credit is due. Ryan Stasek just kept pushing it, not going back to the closing theme. And anybody who knows me is a big fan of the jams knows that I love that. We started in F major is kind of where this section starts, and a couple minutes into it, did the bump up to I think I want to say like G Dorian maybe, so that it was the same scale but a new root,
right?
which was nice, and then also made the transition back later to F very very palatable. There are a lot of Umphrey's transitions that are very angular, and we're trying to make things weird, and that was not one of them. It was one of the more buttery ones, so I enjoyed that. And then we had including Immigrant Song in the middle, I think probably about a 26 or 27 minute Utopian Fur.
Yeah.
The couple jams in that. There was one in the middle, there was one in the end, and we just kind of made the choice. We're like, okay, really, we need about 5 more minutes of music, like, for this set to reach its apex.
Right.
And,
do we play another song, or do we just keep going? Yeah.
And so we made the choice to just keep going and have one more. It was feeling good. The crowd was right with us last night. So sometimes in those moments, as opposed to adding a song, the right answer is just to stretch something out and try to push it and see what you can come up with.
Yeah. And the thing I love about that venue too is it feels super intimate. It's like 1,000 cap, but it's very
feels
it's like
smaller
an indoor
than that.
bowl,
Yeah.
and it's packed, and also the stage is super small for you guys. As well.
This is kind of funny last night. So my keyboards, I usually have like a U setup, and the side of the U, which would be facing the crowd, had to be turned in because the stage is not straight. All the way across.
It's on an angle.
So there were a couple moments where I was playing Mellotron and like something on Moog or piano, and I was having to like go beyond 180 degrees, both arms on like almost Superman mode, like flying. Yeah, it was pretty funny. But it's kind of, I'm sure a lot of the listeners here are familiar with the Mission Ballroom in Denver. Somebody said that to me. They're like, oh, it's like a super shrunk down Mission Ballroom. And it totally is, because it's got this sort of stadium seating around the sides and the back, where there's
that.
Every view in there is good, and it's, such a classic venue.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I love seeing shows there. And speaking of shows, you've just recently announced a lot of shows that are very exciting.
We have. We have.
Some more Colorado shows. Can't stay away for long.
Oh, can't stay away. We had the opportunity to consider going back to the Mishawaka Amphitheater, which is just outside of Fort Collins, and not quite as well known of an outdoor venue as something like Red Rocks or Telluride for Colorado, but the Mish is this beautiful little spot up the Poudre River, and it's maybe like a 30-minute drive from Fort Collins. So, there's really nothing around it, and there aren't too many places like that. So, I think the last time we played it was 2009.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So it will have been almost 15 years, and we put those shows on sale this morning, and we're very elated to say that they sold out almost right away. So that's a good thing. Whenever you get to play for a sold-out crowd, especially in Colorado, you just know it's going to be...
Well, and also in the middle of the wilderness in Colorado, right?
Yeah.
Like that's amazing. Like outdoor venues like that are so special.
So hopefully it doesn't snow.
Yes. When are those shows?
September 7th, 8th, and 9th. Could be 90 degrees, could be 30 degrees.
Exactly.
You know?
And you roll the dice, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
You could have 90 degrees on night 1 and snowing on night 3.
You could have that too.
Good balance.
We just put those out. Recently just announced our Bowl 10, which is going to happen in Boston, Massachusetts this year. Very excited about that. 2 nights of music, 3 sets each night. Typically what we've done with these 3-set formats is 4 of the 6 sets will be fan curated. This year it might even be, well, no, I guess it would still be 4. We have at least 2 new quarters that we're doing this year that we've never done before.
Ooh, 2 new quarters.
Yeah. So Bowl is typically, the back history of this is it was originally 1 night in 4 sets.
Yeah.
So we set it up as quarters.
Got it.
So the sets were like between 50 and 60 minutes. They weren't marathon,
right. You weren't playing until like 3 in the morning.
Yeah. But then, it became a pretty popular thing, and we heard from a few people, why don't you guys... It was so taxing on us to do those 4 sets, and Chris is like falling over dying at the end of it.
Yeah.
So we thought, why not try to make it a little easier on him and do 3 sets over 2 nights so that, people coming from out of town then can set up shop, and, everybody knows like a 2 or 3 night stand. Those are so fun for everyone because then... Right. it's like the band gets to relax, the fans get to hang out with each other. It's just a great time. So I think 3 years ago we changed it to the 3-set 2-night format.
Yeah,
and we were really happy with it. So the first one we did was in Port Chester, and then we did Chicago, the Cap in Port Chester, the Riviera in Chicago, and now the House of Blues in Boston. And typically what we do, our goal with these is to kind of undersell the venue and give everyone a little more space. So
I like that.
It's kind of set up to be a very fan-friendly thing. Where, it's not like a New Year's show where you're like, we're trying to sell
packing
out the
every
room,
inch of the place,
Yeah. So that's something that we've also tried to make a little more fan-friendly. But the unique thing about this show, the Bowl, is that 2 of the quarters or sets are voted for by fans in advance, and 2 of them are live voting with the...
I've seen some of these.
Yeah,
I remember every year, or the last couple of Bowls, I remember seeing on YouTube, like, really intriguing, like, titles of things I've, like, watched. Like, there was, like, you did, like, a weird jazzercise one last year, I think.
Totally.
And I remember watching that and being like, this is so cool. Like,
so one quarter, the Choose Your Own Adventure one will typically have, like, 3 choices, maybe 4, sometimes just 2. And fans are just voting for what they want to happen next.
Right.
So that's that quarter. And then the one you're describing here is the S2, Stu Art event, which we encourage fans to come up with sort of creative, descriptive prompts that would, we can then create music over.
Yeah.
Which is pretty fun because really there's no wrong answers. You're just trying to make something cool or funny or, we had a really good one that I remember a couple years ago where we ended up I think this might be what you're talking about, the jazzercise one with the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Jane Fonda,
up,
whatever, yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
Up, down, 1, 2, 3, 4, up, down, up, down. You're doing it.
Yeah. That should be in regular rotation, I think. That should be a song.
It's, I'm trying to think of what this was. There was some video that somebody made that like made his his drill thing into like a song, so worth looking up.
Yeah.
But yeah, those have been quarters that we've done in the past. We've also done one that I know the fans really like called Raw Stewage, referring to the concept Jimmy Stewart, which we sort of use as our catch-all term for improvising or trying to create a song on the spot sort of thing. So what fans do with this is we give them 30 different little selections of improvised times when we've like John, the guy who's kind of been the moderator of this, Mickle, a lot of people know him as, says he's trying to find places where all 6 of us are playing, like we've come up with our own composed parts. Right, so there's kind of sections. So then we have fans vote on what are your favorite sections, and then we'll try to, out of the top 15 of the 30 or 35, try to create songs from those.
Yeah.
So in a way, it's pretty cool because you're kind of doing the litmus test already. Do the fans like this?
Right. Do they like the way this sounds? Which is so cool because a nerd like me, loves the fact that it's like, my favorite jam segment. I'd be like, make a new song out of that. Like that's awesome. Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to experience Bowl in October.
Inevitably, we screw them up and we take people's favorite jams and turn them into songs that they don't like.
Of course, yeah. you ruin a good thing. It's like here's your jam. Yeah. We're gonna make this bastardization of it with lyrics. Yeah.
So here we are at Peach Fest today.
Yes.
Let's bring it back to the moment.
Yes.
And I'm very excited because today we get to play Ripe, a band that I've wanted to see for a long time, is playing before us. And one of my favorites of all time is playing after us, Ween.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that.
And so we get to hang out and check those guys out, which I'm pretty stoked about. And then, next month, Umphrey's has taken most of the month off except for one show, and I'm going with my family to Portugal.
Ooh.
And my Portugal trip ends with us flying back to New York on August 4th.
Oh, and you know what that means?
What does it mean?
I assume you're going to be seeing Fish.
Yeah.
Which means, okay, I'll see you there.
We're going to go to the last show.
Awesome.
We're flying on the 4th, so
Yeah.
I'm not counting on feeling like doing anything that night.
Makes sense, but you'll be there on the 5th, which is awesome.
Yeah,
I'll see you there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that run a lot. So my next question was going to be, what's the next show you're going to be seeing, non-festival? And so you just answered that.
Yeah, so we'll be going to see Fish then. Trying to think if we've got a couple really great people opening for us in August. We're playing 2 nights at the Salvage Station in Asheville.
Yeah.
I think August 25th, 26th. And we've got Daniel Donato opening one night.
Nice.
And, this is terrible. Now I'm totally spacing on their name. This sick band from Richmond, Virginia that I've gotten to see live a couple times. I know, Butcher Brown.
Nice.
So I highly recommend checking those guys out. That was one, we don't have too many big shows where we're having support with us. It's been a lot of an evening with Umphrey's McGee.
Yeah.
And, it's like we have enough material to fill 2 sets. Why not just play 2 sets?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But this Asheville show is one where, we're going to be able to have some great artists playing with us. So really stoked about that. Oh, and I should mention one more festival, the All In Festival.
Oh, in
Indianapolis. Yeah. That is actually on the Sunday of the weekend of our Mishawaka shows.
Oh.
So
it's
classic
Thursday, Friday,
fashion,
Saturday, Sunday?
Celebrate by going to the airport.
Oh, perfect.
We're doing it again.
Is that similar distance traveled? Or?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be just like 2-hour flight. It won't be bad. Hopefully things go as planned.
Yeah. Exactly. The real issue is like the 4 a.m. flight or
this one I think we get to sleep in. It's 8.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But we're gonna get to do a set with Jason Bonham, John Bonham from Led Zeppelin's son, and so we'll do some Zeppelin tunes and a couple Umphrey's tunes. The first time we played with him, Jason learned our song Conduit, which I thought was really cool, and he came in just gushing about how much fun he was having playing it in his studio.
Yeah.
And so, we've done a few shows with him now over the years, and I'm really stoked that we're going to be able to bring that project back and be able to do that in Indy. And I think Trey Anastasio Band is playing right before us.
Classic tab, yeah.
Classic tab.
No horns.
Yeah, no horns. So you never know. I mean, collaborations are being encouraged.
You heard it here first. Trey's sitting in with Umphrey's at All In Festival.
Yeah, so that's... and let me mention one more thing.
Yes.
We are doing a really special benefit at Tyler Childers Festival in West Virginia.
When's that one?
That is September 23rd. And it is, working on raising money for drug prevention and opioid prevention and all the causes that go along with that.
Mm-hmm.
And so huge thing that Tyler's asked us to do for a couple years, and finally we were able to do it this year. So I'm really stoked. I feel like we're kind of stepping out a little bit of the typical festival box and going and doing that.
Yeah.
And will be great to be able to support that cause and also probably play for some New Year's that day.
It's awesome. Very exciting. Well, Joel, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. It's been a pleasure to hear about everything going on in your world and Umphrey's world. And, we'll do this again in a few months.
I look forward to
these
it.
things happen.
Sounds great, Ryan.
Awesome. All right. And thank you, everybody, for listening to this episode of We Move Through Stormy Weather. Hope you have a phenomenal day, and we'll see you next time.